What's going on, guys? Thanks for watching. Keep calm and game on. Don't got the green screen on at the moment, and there's a reason for that. I moved my setup to a different bedroom. So we're out of the old bedroom into a new bedroom. Long story as to why I did that. But yeah, I don't have room for the green screen in this room anymore. So that might be what the background looks like for a while. Because yeah, I don't got room for, I don't got the space. It took me forever to get that dresser. You see what that screen's sitting on, that dresser? It's filled with like cords and like cameras and a crap ton of crazy stuff. No. So I had to like take all the drawers out, tilt it sideways, move it, get it through the door. Yikes. But finally got it in here. But yeah, got the setup going. I don't have my newest computer plugged in because my brother still has to help me. Still has to help me remove the thermal paste and put new thermal paste on. So I haven't got the main setup plugged in, but I got basically my old setup plugged in, just in a different room. Took me a while last night to get everything figured out, all the cords plugged back in. I need to take a picture before I unplug it again because, man, that was rough. And technically, I don't even have everything plugged in the way it was before. I don't have my game consoles plugged in. I just have my two computers plugged in and hooked together. But that was definitely a process. And I'm going to have to unplug those anyway because, man, at some point, I'm going to be moving probably my streaming setup back to my garage, or at least one of my setups in my garage. Maybe I'll just run it off of one computer, I don't know. Or maybe I'll put together another one and do a two-computer setup in my garage again. The reason for that, it's going to sound crazy, guys, but long story short, I'm getting roommates again. And the crazy thing is, the roommates are going to be my mom, my dad, and my younger brother. So they're going to be moving in with me. They're going to sell their house in like May. Well, they're going to, I guess, list it. Could take a while to sell it. Crackle, how you doing, man? So they're going to sell their house, and then they're going to move in with me because they thought about renting, but they're just going to like rent from me instead, so they can like travel and stuff. So we're going to do that for a while. So they'll help me out a little bit. I'll help them out a little bit. And yeah, but yeah, so I had to move my my gaming setup, my streaming setup, had to move it from that room into this room because I'm going to be basically, I'm going to be condensing everything down to one bedroom because my parents are going to have the master bedroom. My other brother's going to have the room that my other streaming setup was in. And so I'm just going to have this other room. So, yeah. But once they move in, which won't be for a while, I'm going to move stuff back out in the garage, have a setup in there. It's going to be a little cold, a little hot, but we did it once. We can do it again. At least my bed won't be out in the garage. So that's a plus, you know. I'll still have a bedroom. I'll just have one of my streaming setups in the garage. But that is the plan. If you're just popping in, guys, welcome to the stream. We're playing some Fortnite. I'm going to go with Blitz. Let me grab my headset real quick. Testing out the new setup. And Nino. How you doing, Nino? I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing? How's the quality sound, guys? I have my Blue Yeti mic plugged in because my other mics, they're made to like hook on the side of a table, and this desk that's in this room, it's a glass table, so it can't really hook on. So this mic was already on this stand, so I'm just like, okay, we're gonna use the Blue Yeti, which is actually a very good quality microphone. Tatwood, how you doing, Tat? How goes it, guys? You ready for some Fortnite, boys? But yeah, I'm pretty proud of the setup I got here. Figured it all. Man, I had so many cords, guys. It's not completely set up yet. A house burned down near my apartment. Oh man, that's not good. That sucks. Hopefully, the fire department got it put out and everything. And hopefully they had insurance as well. TT Pig, what up, man? It's been a while, man. How you doing? How you doing? Quick shout out, guys. If you look down at the bottom of your screen, you see the chat on the left, and then you see those names on the right. Every one of those people on the right, they are channel members. So guys, thank you so much for hitting the join button, becoming channel members. They're donating money every month to help me pay for my internet and stuff. So if you see any of those people pop into the chat, please give them a shout out because they deserve it. Thank you, Tatwood, for subscribing, bro. Appreciate that. Okay, let's hit the play button. I thought I hit the play button. Like, my goodness. You broke your arm. That's not good. Hopefully that heals quickly, man. That sucks. I'm fortunate enough to have never broken anything. Knock on wood. But yeah, that can't be fun. Sounds painful. And yeah, I'm having a pretty good day. I just got off work a couple hours ago. Had some, well, actually, I just had popcorn. Instead of eating dinner, I had popcorn. I had a late lunch. Leftover Dominoes at work. Thank you, Nino, for subscribing, bro. Appreciate that. So I had some leftover Dominoes. So, but it was like a pretty late lunch. So all I had for dinner was like popcorn. A little bag of popcorn. Janik, what up, man? Thunder Ducky, hello. Just got home from work. Nice, nice. No, we just started, man. We've only been live for about 7 minutes. But yeah, as I was telling the chat, the reason my background looks different is, number one, I don't got my green screen back there, obviously. Though I could have a green screen and it could just look, that could just be a picture. You know, yeah, but no. I don't got the green screen because it takes up too much space. Thank you, Yoxer BR. Because I had to move my streaming setup from my spare bedroom into my other room. Best of all time. Welcome back, man. We're seeing a lot of old faces pop in. A lot of new people. But I had to move it from that room because, you know how I said I was maybe potentially thinking about getting a roommate or something? Well, turns out, Yoxer, wait, I'm stopping, but I hope you have a great day or night, and I hope you make it to the big leagues. Well, thank you, Yoxer VR. Hope you subscribe, bro, and I hope you pop in again. The more, the merrier. But yeah, so I've been thinking about getting roommates. Maybe I was gonna try to convince. Well, see if my two siblings that used to live with me, if they want to move back in, but they renewed their lease at their apartment, so they're not gonna be able to do that. But my parents. Arthur, how you doing, Arthur? Oh, crap. Was not paying attention. But my parents, my dad messaged me the other day. Oh, crap. This is not good. Ah, crap. My dad messaged me the other day, and he's like, so what do you think about this crazy idea, Adam? He's like, we're thinking about selling our house because in like 6 months, they're going to hit the 2-year mark. So if they sell their house, they won't get like capital gains tax. So they're thinking about selling their house and just renting like an apartment or something. But then he's like, you know, or since you've been looking for roommates, we could just move in with you, pay you rent money. And then we're not like paying some random landlord money and we're like helping you out, you know, so you could help us out. We could help you out. Because they want to be able to like travel and stuff, potentially visit other states. Because my brother that lives with them, he's been looking at different states where like the affordability is a little better than Idaho. You know, Idaho is not, it's kind of high here to like rent an apartment and to buy a house. So he's thinking about other states. So they want to like kind of be able to travel with him, look at other states and stuff like that. But they don't want to be like tied down to like an apartment, you know. So in like 6 months, well, or whenever May is, that's when they can list their house for sale. So in the meantime, I'm like, okay, sure, you guys can move in for like, you know, however long. Help me pay off my mortgage and stuff. But they gotta sell their house and stuff, so they gotta get that ready, and I gotta get my house all cleaned up because there's crap everywhere, guys. There's computers everywhere. There's laundry I gotta do. There's dirty dishes. Every room just is loaded with just junk. So I gotta like downsize all that. I gotta get rid of stuff that's in my garage. I'm 28, forced to live with my mother, not because of money, but because there is no... Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I had to live with my parents for a long time because I was working at a thrift store. I'm still working at the same thrift store. But I just kept saving money, saving money, saving money. And then eventually I had enough money to do a down payment on a house. This was like 10 years ago, though. So if I hadn't bought my house when I bought it, I wouldn't have a house at the moment because everything has tripled in price. It's insane. But I was lucky enough to have enough saved up to do a down payment. So then I bought my house. My oldest sister moved in with me because she didn't have a place to live. So she moved in with me, was paying me rent, and I was using that to kind of pay down the mortgage. And then my other brother moved in with me as well. And then my parents, were going to move to New Mexico because I'm originally from New Mexico. So they were going to move back there. So they sold their house the first time. They were going to move back there. They went to visit, decided it wasn't as good as they remembered. So they came back here, bought another house. And now they plan on selling that. And then I guess moving in with me for a while. So yeah. Iron Spider, how you doing, man? Is that War Machine? It is War Machine. Yes. It is War Machine. Here we go. Gonna snipe with a pistol, baby. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, crap. Boom, boom, bam, bam, bam. You gone. Okay, I need a gun, though, bro. I need, like, some kind of assault rifle. Give me something, even an SMG. Aha, my favorite gun, guys. This is my favorite gun. Just get some of this real quick. So, yeah, basically, I got around 6 months to get my house ready for my mom, dad, and younger brother to move in. And because I like to stream late at night, and they go to bed pretty early, plus, I kind of like my privacy, and I don't like people, like, listening in to, like, what I'm saying or whatever. Even when my siblings live with me, I was like, nah, I'm going to go in the garage. So, I got to get my garage set up with a streaming setup so I can stream from there again. So basically, I'm going to be out in the garage. I won't be living in the garage like last time. Because last time I had a bed in the garage. I was like sleeping in the garage. It was a little extreme because every bedroom was just taken up. But they're going to both get the master bedroom. Then my other brother's going to get the other bedroom, which was my streaming room. And then I'm going to have this bedroom. So I'll have a bedroom in the house. But I still kind of want my privacy, you know? So I'm probably going to move one of my streaming setups in the garage so I'll be able to like stream at night and stuff and I won't keep anybody up. So that's my current plan. That's the plan at the moment. Obviously things can change. Stuff can happen. They know I eventually want the girl I'm in love with to move in with me at some point, but I don't think that's happening anytime soon. She's dealing with a lot of stuff on her end, so I don't think that's going to happen at the moment. So in the meantime, I'm going to try to make the best of it and just get all my ducks in a row. So hopefully I can pay off my house sooner than I thought. So if she ever does move in with me, we won't have to worry about a mortgage and stuff, and we can just focus on paying down her medical debt because she has a lot of medical debt. And so that's kind of my plan. You know, I figure I can suck it up for a year and a half or a couple years, have my parents move in, and then, you know, get my mortgage paid off, and then hopefully start fresh with the girl I'm in love with at some point, hopefully. Obviously, things with her might not work out. There's always a chance, so who knows, but you know, a lot can happen. But that's kind of the plan at the moment. Just kind of suck it up, not have as much privacy. But I'm kind of looking at from the way of like, well, I'll get to spend more time with my parents, you know. And they're not going to be around forever, so I kind of need to take advantage of being able to see my parents when I can. So, it could be a blessing in disguise, you never know. Yeah, got to stream when everyone goes to bed, yeah. And my house is pretty small. So it's like, right outside that door is the master bedroom door where they're going to be, like, living, right? So there's, like, not a lot of, like, you know, if I'm up late talking to you guys, they're going to be able to hear it in there. There's, like, not a lot of, the walls are pretty thin. So I'm gonna have to move my setup out in the garage, but I'll have some time before that happens because, like I said, they're not even gonna be able to list their house until like May, and then it's got to sell. And in the meantime, they're gonna move into this place so they can clear out their house and stage it nice so it looks cool and everything. So potential buyers are gonna want to buy it and stuff. Soundproof panels, I don't think that'll work. Like it's literally they're right on the other side of that door. Like there's like a hallway. There's that door, a little bit of a hallway, and then their door. And then my other brother, he's literally on the other side. Like there's a closet right in that direction. He's on the other side of that. He's gonna be on the other side of that wall. So I just like my privacy, So I'm just gonna have like a streaming setup out in the garage. I'll still have probably a setup in here as well, but I might try to put together another one of my older computers so I can do like a 2-computer setup in the garage as well. And yeah, at least I won't have to like live out there, I'll just go out there when I want to stream or something. Or maybe like if they're in the living room, maybe I'll do like a stream. But if it starts getting late, then I'll have to like go out in the garage type dealio. But that's kind of the plan. There you go. That's why I don't mind living with my mother. Used to always be families stuck together till marriage. Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I'm gonna be honest, like living completely by myself, it's kind of lonely. Like I'm used to having a full house with people. So maybe it'll be a good thing. And especially because like the girl I'm in love with, she's going through stuff and I haven't been able to talk to her as much because she's just dealing with a lot with like just going through it right now. So it's like I've just been working and then I come home to an empty house. But if they're here, I can hang out with them. I can stream. It'll like force me to like do my dishes and keep the house clean. Whereas like right now, my house is just like looks like a bomb went off, So I feel like it'll kind of force me to like get stuff in order and to get rid of stuff because I'm gonna have to like make space for their stuff and they're gonna get rid of stuff too. But so that's kind of the plan. Crackle says my parents won't let me donate to you. It's all good, man. Like if you don't got a job and if you don't got your own money, don't donate to me. Okay, only if it's your money. That's one thing, but don't use somebody else's money to donate to me. Do you own Sprocket? I do. I don't know what Sprocket is. Iron Spider says he's doing good. Nice. Oh yeah, shout out to Thunder Ducky. He's a member on the channel and he's been a subscriber of mine for a very long time. I think since I've started the channel, he was like very, very early. Shout out to Thunder Ducky. He's been a fan for a long time. Go check out his channel if you haven't. He does gaming content. He does like vlogs, shorts, political commentary sometimes, video game reviews, movie reviews, all kinds of crazy stuff. So check out Thunder Ducky if you haven't. Really cool dude. Speaking of which, Thunder Duck, did you get your computer figured out? I saw that stream you did. It was the other day. You were like streaming from your phone. You were trying to get your PC figured out. I don't know if you ever got it figured out. I'm going to change my skin real quick. I'm going to go with you. Yeah. We'll go with that. But that's currently the plan. Obviously, things can change. And they told me like if they move in and then my girl wants to move in with me at some point, then they'll be like, we can move out and it won't be like a big deal. Like it might take a couple months for it to happen. But like if you guys decide she wants to move in or whatever, just give us a little bit of a heads up and we'll rent an apartment somewhere or whatever. So they'll work with me if that happens. Again, I don't think it's gonna happen anytime soon because she's kind of dealing with a lot right now. But I'm like, well, if me and her can't live together at the moment, I might as well take advantage of it and make the best of it. So that's kind of the plan. Obviously, things can change. Maybe the house market just crashes and nobody will buy a house, so their house will never sell, or, you know, I don't know. Or maybe a civil war starts, or a nuke drops. Who knows? Things can happen. But that's kind of the plan at the moment. It's a crazy plan. I told my coworkers, they're like, Adam, you're going to let your parents move in with you? Are you crazy? I'm like, well, here's the thing. I actually like my parents. I know a lot of people, they don't get along with their parents. You know, first thing they did when they turned 18 was like leave the house. They just wanted their freedom. But I've always like got along with my parents for the most part. Like some kids just like hate their parents. I'm just like, well, that's not me. I actually enjoy my parents. I actually don't mind them. So I guess that's one of the benefits. What's your favorite weapon in Dead Zone Rogue? I don't know if I have a favorite weapon. Did you buy Dead Zone Rogue? Did you buy it? I got the pancake gun. My favorite gun in this game is like the Spire rifle. I really like the Spire rifle. The accuracy on that is just nuts. Okay, let's go, buddy. Let's go. Oh, crap. Aha! Got him. Give me that gun. Give me that gun. I'm ready for a civil war. Hee hee. Yeah, hopefully it won't come to that, but I don't know. Things are getting crazy. Things are getting cray-cray out there. Does this slap juice do anything? Like, seriously, there we go. I might take this assault rifle as well. Oh, the circle of death is coming. I probably want to get a move on here. Someone's coming. Someone's coming. Got him. Crap. Got him. What kind of... You got anything good, buddy? Oh, we better run. We gotta go. We gotta go. Does my audio sound okay? I got the Blue Yeti plugged in, which is actually a really decent microphone, but I haven't used it in a while. I bought this one used from a thrift store like 7 years ago or something, so hopefully it still sounds okay. Your pancake gun is a Lewis heavy machine gun used during World War I. Oh, interesting. Did not know that. My blitz level has increased. Okay. Oh, there's somebody over here. Ah, crap. They got me. They got me. .33 accuracy, not terrible, not great though. Return to lobby. But yeah, last night, that's kind of what I was doing. I moved my setup from that room over there. You can't see it, but my normal room with the green screen and all that, I moved it into this room. That was a process, like yikes. And it's still not 100% the way I want it, because the computer that I've been putting together, that's going to be my new main computer, but I don't got the thermal paste on there yet. So the setup I have now, I'm going to actually have to change this up to get the main computer in here. Yeah, I'm going to have to unplug the stuff, but I'm going to take a picture first. And then this is only going to be like the setup for a while until my parents start moving in. And then I'm going to have to move the setup or figure out something to get it out in the garage. And they want to like park their car in the garage. I'm like, guys, why do you want to park your car in the garage? They're like, we don't want it to get snowed on and we don't want it to get sun damage. I'm like, I can't have you be parking the car in the garage. I got to be streaming in the garage. I'm like, just leave me a little corner so I can do my little streams in the garage. And so you might see a car parked behind me in some future streams. That's just how it's going to be. Do you like Call of Duty? Yeah, I like Call of Duty. I do know the new Battle Royale Battlefield came out. Like the free-to-play Battle Royale mode. Haven't tried that yet. It's a lot of gigabytes. But I know that came out. I don't know if it's any good. And Crackle, did you say you bought Dead Zone Rogue? Stephanie, what up, Stephanie? Bow 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 ba ba dum 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 dum. I saw the new Predator, guys. Predator Badlands, bruh. That's a good movie. I liked it. 3D IMAX is what me and my friends saw it on. 3D IMAX. Oh yeah, that's a good movie. I liked it. I'd say that's probably the best Predator movie I've seen. Like it was good. You've never played a Fortnite match in your life? Nino, did you change your name? Didn't your name used to be longer? But yeah, I really like Predator Badlands. Like the soundtrack was good. CGI was good. Cinematography really good. It was like funny in parts. It developed the character of the Predator. Where in a lot of the Predator movies, it's just like, oh, it's just a killing machine. It's just a Predator. There's not a lot to it. It's very one dimensional. But this movie kind of fleshed it out a little bit. So I like that. I thought it was pretty good. I actually wish it was longer. But it like, because it was like a minute and 45, I mean, like an hour and 45 minutes. So it didn't overstay its welcome. But yeah, I liked it. Disney finally did something right. And they had the same director as Prey, so that's probably part of it. Somebody behind me or underneath me? I want to go watch Prey again now. Oh, is that a gold one? Oh, buddy. Pick that bad boy up. And we'll grab that. Yeah, now we're cooking. Whoa, crap. Crap, crap, crap. Who's shooting me? Who the heck's shooting me? You little punk. Oh, come on. Are you serious? Are you for real right now? You're dead. You're dead. You're dead. Run! I'm gonna be dead soon if I don't get a move on. Run! Thanks for popping in, Crackle. And I don't have Roblox. I do not have Roblox. Got him. Oh, crap. You're gone. You're gonna be gone. Well, I'm gonna be gone if I'm not careful. You're dead. Okay, we're almost there, boys. We're almost there. The circle's getting smaller and smaller. I have not tried Arc Raiders. That game's like $40, right? I've heard good things about it, and $40 isn't like as expensive as a lot of games. But crap, bro, crap, bro, crap, bro. Come on, come on. What the? Got him. You know what? I'll take this gun too. Take double. Crap. Come on, come on. Get the shield up. Get the shield up. Get the shield up. Get the shield up. Oh, where they at? Where they at? Where they at? Where they at? Where are they? Oh, over there. Come here, come here. Where you at, buddy boy? Where you at, buddy boy? I know he's up here. Crap. Crap. Oh, second place. Dang, I almost had him. We almost had him. Man. GG. 8 kills, though. Not terrible. Could have been better. Da 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 da. Boom 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 boom. Do 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 do. Sure Clips. How you doing, Sure Clips? Were you here last night? I feel like you were here last night. Maybe you weren't. Well, welcome to the stream. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Gonna be getting a PC from Rent Center tomorrow. Good deal. Monitor, tower, keyboard, mouse, and microphone for $173 a month. So you're gonna rent it? How much? Like what? Like, is it a gaming computer or what kind of computer is it? Oh, rent to own. Oh, rent to own. Interesting. So, like, if you were to just buy it outright, how much would it cost? Dang, it would be $3,152. Dang. Dang. Do you know, like, what kind of specs it has? Bow, 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 bow. There's quite a bit of cheddar right there. Do. Bow, 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 bow. I know the best of all time is really good at this game. I know that. Let's see here. Get the wolf. The wolf. And let's get... Let's actually go with... Yeah, that's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. Bam, bam, ba-down. $173 a month. Miss Nightmare, how's it going? Ba-da-da-da-da. Very nice, very nice. Doing pretty good. Testing out the new setup we got, which is basically the old setup, just in a different room. No green screen. Not enough space in this for green screen, unfortunately. Though I could probably figure something out at some point. But yeah, I got the setup in a new room. because my parents are going to be moving into my house at some point, and my younger brother. Nice thing is, though, that one brother, he's the brother that is good with computers, and he's the brother that I've been waiting on to help me put the thermal paste, and that's been helping with the processor install and all that. So I'll have like unlimited tech support, right? Thinking about getting a green screen as well. They do take up, I mean, there's like smaller green screens that don't take up a lot of space. The one I had was probably overkill. It's basically a really big projector screen, and I just hung a green screen cloth over it. It takes up a lot of space though. But there's smaller like fold up screens and stuff too. Crackle, welcome back, man. I mean, they're cool to have because you can, put whatever you want in the background, but you also have to have like the lighting has to be decent. Because if you have bad lighting, it's really hard to key out the green color. But it's not necessary. A lot of people are like, you gotta have a green screen if you want to make it on YouTube. You don't really. There's a lot of like YouTubers out there. Some YouTubers, they don't even have, like some streamers, they don't even have like face cams. It's just their voice and then the gameplay. If you have something interesting to say, people will watch. You don't necessarily have to have like a super great camera or super great mic. I guess we'll take that. Best of all time, did I? Well, that's because you were probably spamming notifications. And as everybody knows, if you spam notifications, you get deleted. Plus, we're only playing with channel members at the moment. That's one of the perks of being a channel member, is when I play Fortnite and stuff, you have a greater chance of hopping in the game. That's one of the perks. Pay to play, as they say. I might have to get faster internet too, guys, because if my parents are moving in with my brother, I mean, it might be fine because my brother works pretty late and he has a second job now too. So when he gets off from Walmart, he goes to UPS and he's not like home until like 3-4 p.m. sometimes. So yeah, and then they go to sleep pretty early, so we might be okay. As far as the internet goes, maybe. Because I'm just using like T-Mobile internet right now. It's like $50 a month. I'm hoping with all the extra people living in my house, that will be a good enough speed. Especially if I'm streaming out in the garage on Wi-Fi. Hopefully it's gonna work. I might have to like just bite the bullet and buy better internet, but we'll see what happens. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. We'll cross it when we get there, Ooh, hello. Okay, you can hide behind that tree, buddy, but it's not going to end well for you. Yep, that guy was totally a bot. That guy sucked. Totally a bot. Slap juice. You play PUBG anymore? I think I have it installed. I haven't played it in a while, though. Actually, I forgot all about that game. I was never good at that game. I mean, not that I'm good at this game, but Well, actually, you know what? We're gonna... Oh, no. We want this one. Grab this one. Somebody behind me? Hey, buddy boy, come over here. Crap. Okay, this guy might not be a bot. Crap, bro. Ah, Jesus. My goodness gracious. And Thunder Ducky, I don't know if you know the specs. Of the computer you're thinking about renting, but you might be able to just like, I mean, for that price, you could probably build one. I know getting the amount, all that money together is like, that's the hard part. But I mean, you could probably get a decent motherboard for like around $100. Okay. You get a good processor for around, let's see here. How much did I just pay for my processor? It was on sale, but I think it was like around 150 on. I mean, it depends on the processor and stuff. But do you want more? Do you enjoy Bliss equals much or more boons and medallions? Well, let's go middle. So motherboard like around $100. Processor, let's say $200 for a processor, depending. Well, so we'll round it up to $200. You get the RAM. You could go like DDR4 RAM, which is like, that's what I'm using. There's like newer RAM now that's faster and all that. So it's a Ryzen 7, 16 gigs, 1 terabyte RTX 3050. 3050. So I got a 3060 Ti in the one I just put together. That's not quite finished yet. But a 3060, I think that's around like $300. Let's check real quick, guys. Okay, let's check real quick. There's my cutie patootie. Let me see here. Amazon. Can I just go to Okay, how do I go to incognito mode? Can I do incognito mode? Okay, let's go to that. Let's go to Amazon. Do I have to be signed in to do this crap? Okay. Let's go with motherboard. Motherboard. How you doing, William? Bob, can we make a song request? I don't really sing, guys, but... Okay, so... A motherboard. Let's B550. That's what I have. I also have a 450. But so you can get a B550 for $100. And that can do the Ryzens and all that. That can do DDR4. So okay, so we're gonna add that to my cart. Okay, so we got a motherboard. Now let's go to a Ryzen. Let's go to a Ryzen real quick. Ryzen 7. Ryzen 7. 5700. See, 5700 is pretty good. Unlocked. I don't even remember what I think I got a Ryzen 7 7800. Well, no, it was, what was it? I think I got this one. I got a Ryzen 7 5800X. That's an 8 core. Maybe it was, I think it was this one actually. I think this is the one I got. 5800X unlocked desktop processor. That's 170. Add to cart. Okay, so now we got a motherboard, we got a processor. Now we look for RAM, okay? DDR4 RAM. We can get 16 gigs of RAM for 50. We can get 32 gigs for 150. I mean, you could always upgrade the RAM later. You could also find RAM used and stuff off of like Facebook Marketplace and stuff like that. But let's say just 16 gigs of RAM, okay? We'll say we want a decent speed though. 32, yeah. We'll go with, we'll say these. $70, added cart. So now we got the motherboard, the processor, the RAM. What else do we need? The processor comes with a cooler, so we don't need that. A case. PC case. And cases vary. Like, you can get like a really expensive case. You know, you don't need anything super fancy. If it's big enough, you know, like this one's pretty cheap. This one's $40. That's a micro though. I wouldn't go with the micro because it's really hard to cram stuff in there. Bigger cases are usually better. I just like the bigger cases. But let's see. You could, I mean, yeah. So like these don't cost. I mean, this is like a mid-tower gaming PC case, pre-installed. So this one comes with fans pre-installed on it. The fans aren't super expensive though. I'm planning on upgrading it, but the OS7 allows me to get it faster. Okay, so then, I mean, this one comes with fans built in. But again, fans don't really cost a whole lot. And you can get cheap fans. Maybe not that case. That's $100. Like this case, that's a micro. Again, micro, I mean, you can... Yeah, I like the full-size cases better. Because it's just easier to fit graphics cards and components in and whatever. But let's say... Was this on micro as well? Non-RGB fans, pre-installed full view tempered glass, gaming PC, mid-tower, compressed white case, gaming PC glass case. I mean, this case... Yeah, I mean, you could do like a case like this. Doesn't really have any like hard drive bay slots or anything. Okay, maybe not that one. But you can find like cheap cases on like Facebook Marketplace and stuff too. But let's just say, I don't know. Okay, let's just go with this one. Let's go with this case. This ain't around $100. We'll just go with the cheap one. Okay, go with a cheap one. Why can't I throw this in the cart? Oh, add to cart. Okay. Add protection. No, thank you. Oh, power supply. You gotta have a power supply. Forgot about the power supply. Power supply. And let's just go power supply. What are the prices here? Like the one that my main computer is going to be in, it's got like a 650 watt. I would have liked to have a higher one, but the one I bought from the thrift store didn't work. This one's a 700 watts. And then there's the non-modular kind. The non-modular means that all the cords are kind of built in and you can't add more cables. You're basically stuck with the cables you got. Modular means you can kind of put other cables in. You can kind of plug them in. Kind of like a Lego set. So the modular ones are better. Like this one right here. This one has the slots where you can plug them in. The non-modular, they come out of it. So it just depends on what you want to do. But, ooh, that one's got some hot chick on the front. Dang, girl. Okay, so wait. So you can get a 500 watts, let's see, 850. So like you can get a 850 watt high-end ATX power supply for $82. Hey. And it's, I think it's modular too. So let's say 850 watt. That should be enough power. Let's add that to the cart. Okay. So now let's look at our cart. We got 5 items. Okay. We got the power supply. We got the case. We got the 16 gigs of RAM. We got the Ryzen 7 5800X, which is the processor I just bought. We got the motherboard. So right now we're just under $500. Okay, just under $500. But we got to get the graphics card now. Now Thunderducky says the one he's going to be renting has a 3050 graphics card. So if we look up a 3050, 3050 GPU, that's about $200 for a 3050. I feel like a 3060 is about $80 more. But if you want to go with the same card as the one you're looking at, $200. Okay, that got 16 gigs of memory, DDR6, 3050. Which honestly, you could probably go with a 1080, a used 1080, get that off Facebook Marketplace for like $100. But if you want to go with this one, add that to the cart. Okay, so now we're looking at a grand total of just under $700. $700. And you got yourself a pretty good gaming PC. Granted, the motherboard, it runs DDR4, which I think they have DDR5, but, 1080p gaming. If you want 4K, yeah, maybe you want to upgrade to the bigger board or whatever. But it's a pretty decent setup right here. $700. So essentially, the computer that they're trying to sell you for, what was it, over $3,000? When all said and done with, like, I guess taxes or interest or whatever. Yeah, over $3,000. You can get the same computer for less than $700. Less than $700. Well, and yeah, the putting together, it sounds like intimidating and all that, but they got YouTube videos, and it's actually not as complicated as a lot of people make it seem. Like I was watching YouTube videos when I just put the one together that I got, because I pulled everything out. I kind of had like an idea because like I've looked in other computers. Like, okay, there's a motherboard. I basically just took the motherboard out, put the screws in. 3K is if I rent it all out through the time frame. Same as cash is 1.7. Yeah, but I mean, you buy the parts separate. That's $700. I think there might be tax. Is there tax? Is there tax? I gotta type my phone number. And there might be tax on that, but maybe not. I think that's with tax. I don't know. I don't know how Amazon works. But like when you round it up to 8, that's $800. But it's not as complicated as well. Then you gotta get the the operating system. But you can get like a Windows 11 key off of like third-party website for pretty cheap, like $11, $10 for a Windows 11 key. And then most of it's just plug and play, essentially. Like the Ryzen comes with a what do you call it? A cooler, I believe. At least mine did. I'm pretty sure they all come with a cooler. It's like a pretty standard Wraith cooler, which is it's like about one of these ones. So if you bought the cooler separate, it'd be like $30. But if you want a nice cooler or like a thermal, like a water cooler, those cost more. But I think you're fine with the stock cooler that comes with it. But you got the power supply. The power supply, that obviously is what powers the computer. So it's got all the cables, and and this one's modular, so you just plug them in, and everything's labeled, And it's like some of the cables, they only fit into one of the ports. Like the main power to the motherboard and stuff. That's what these big ones are right here at the bottom. So you just plug that in, plug it into the corresponding ones on the motherboard. You get it all plugged in. You just, they come with all the screws you need. You just plug in it, get the screws in there. Comes with the cables. And then the RAM sticks. RAM sticks are like probably the easiest part. You just, on the motherboard, where is it? Where's the motherboard? This right here. So the motherboard, so right up in the top, let me see if I can make this bigger. Right up here, in the top right-hand corner of the motherboard, where those like 4 lines are, that's where your RAM goes. So you just pop in the RAM sticks, just pops in, clicks in. So the RAM sticks go up there. These slots down in the bottom left, that's where like, I think you could put more RAM down there, potentially. I think you can put more RAM down there. So you're going to load this bad boy up with a crap ton of RAM. And the graphics card also goes into, I think, this slot right here. It just fits in. And then the processor. The processor is just a little square chip. So you just pop this little, can I make it bigger? There's like a little lever, a little metal hinge. You just kind of pull that up, pop in the processor, close it back. And then you put a little thing of thermal paste on it, just a little dot, like a pea-sized dot of thermal paste right in the middle. You take the cooler and you smush it on like an Oreo. And then you screw the cooler into the motherboard. Looks like this one hooks on with like two little latches. Sometimes they're a little bit different. It's like two latches on the side that go into these plastic parts. But it either like latches on or it screws on. And then you got the processor in there. You just pop in the RAM. Boom, boom. Graphics card, kind of similar. You just pop it in, screw it on to the back of the case. There's like this motherboard looks like it has like, I don't know, it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's got like 7 screw holes. So you just line these holes up with the corresponding holes on the case, and you put the screws in, tighten those up. You know, just tighten up and not over tight. And boom, motherboard's in. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. And then all the places where the cables plug into, they're all labeled. Like you got some USBs here, and you can like look up the schematic. Like the motherboard comes with directions on like what cords go to where. So at that point, it's just like plugging stuff in. It's just like assembling a Lego set, more or less. You just plug all those in, make sure everything's screwed in. The operating system, I believe you have to buy that separate. I don't think it's like part of the motherboard or anything. But like I said, oh, this one has built-in Wi-Fi. But yeah, this one you could upgrade a lot. But you just buy like a Windows 11 key or whatever from like a third-party website. Pretty simple. Pretty easy peasy. And then you just buy that, put it on like a USB key. The Windows 10, just put that on USB key, have that plugged in. And then once you boot it up initially, it'll go to like the BIOS screen. And then yeah, there's YouTube videos and stuff, but it's not as complex as people might think. There's a YouTube video for everything. But I mean, if you want to save a crap ton of money, like $700, you got this whole setup. And what I like to do is like, I like to look up stuff on Facebook Marketplace. Like, I don't want to go to my Facebook because I don't want to get like, what do you call it? Swatted. Is that going to bring up do I have to sign in or can I just go to the marketplace? I think we're okay. Okay, so like if I type in a B550 motherboard on Facebook Marketplace, like, I mean, you could save a little bit of money. Or if you type in like DDR4 RAM, a lot of people sell RAM. DDR4 RAM sticks. We'll say 16 gigs. Like here's 16 gigs. That's only 2400 speed, but that's $20 for 16 gigs. That's in California. Some of these you can like order and they'll ship it to you. You know, you can just look for wherever you live. You can look to see what's local. But yeah, like here's someone selling, I think 16 gigs as well. $60 for 16 gigs. And like, what, a 3050 GPU? Obviously, there's always like a risk of buying stuff used. But like Castro Valley, you can get a 3050 for $130 used. You can get a 1080, which is what I have in my current computer. I really like the 1080s. Like for 1080p gaming, 1080s are still really good cards. Like the 3060 that I'm going to be putting in my main rig, that's only like 30% faster than a 1080. Only 30%, so it's not like a giant jump. So you can find like used 1080s for like around $100 on Facebook Marketplace or like on eBay or whatever. So you can even get it cheaper than the $800 Amazon price. Like if you buy it all new, it's gonna cost around, you know, $700-800. You buy those parts used, you can get it even cheaper than that. So I mean, it might be worth just doing a little bit of research. Like you can get a 3070 for $280 used. There's a 2070, 150. A 1060, a 1050. And but if you're like, if you have like gaming consoles and you're just like looking for a computer to stream the gaming console from, you know what I mean? Like you stream it from the computer, but you're playing on the console, then, you know, a 1080 would probably get the job done because that's what I use. But if you're looking to like play it and stream from the same computer, that's a little bit harder if you're going to do it all from one computer. That's why I got two computers, because I can just use one computer just to stream the live stream, and then the other computer can just focus on playing the game. Quick fix. I feel you. I feel you. But at the same time, I mean, if you rent the computer, like if you rent it, you're just like throwing away the money, unless you're like eventually plan on buying it at some point. But then it's like you're locked into buying that particular one, and even if you paid cash, it's still like what, $1,500 or whatever, which is still like double what it's worth. If you put the parts together yourself, it's going to cost literally half that price. And if you just pay the minimum monthly payments, it's going to cost triple the price. Whereas if you just, you know, spend that much, you know, the first month, you already got like the like $173. That already pays for the motherboard and the RAM. Like that already pays for two of the things you need. Or that almost pays for a graphics card. Like one payment almost pays for a graphics card right there. Or it pays for the motherboard and the case. Whereas if you just rent it, you're basically just throwing away that money. I mean, unless you just like continue to keep renting it until you buy it, but that's like, to me, that's not worth it because you're paying double. Triple if you're just paying the minimum. Whereas if you just watch a couple YouTube videos, buy the parts separate. And this is the new price. If you get them used, like you can get, like I said, you can get stuff used. Like where is eBay? Like you can find 1080s, which is the card I've been running, for like around $100. Do I have a calculator on this computer? Calculator. So you can get a 1080 for like around $100 used on Facebook, depending on where you live. Or you could probably find one on eBay around the same price. Plus, they got cases on, like you look up a case, PC case. Cases aren't like super expensive. Like you can still put really good components into a cheap case. It's just like maybe the cable management might not be the best or whatever, or maybe it doesn't have like hard drive slots or, you know, stuff like that. But that's like not a big deal. Like this case right here, that's $50 for this guy. Or you can buy like, you know, a cheap $20 case. Like the main computer I'm gonna be setting up. Well, one of my computers has a case like pretty much just like this. I mean, the case is just the skeleton. The computer that's gonna be my main rig, I'm using an old case I had, which looks kind of like this. Why can't I gotta log in to see the image. That's stupid. It looks kind of like this. So even with the cheap case, like you don't need like a super expensive case. Like here's like a $10 case. Like as long as it fits your motherboard and a couple fans, like it doesn't have to be super expensive. Best of all time, welcome back. But yeah, you can get like cheap cases on like Facebook and stuff. Like here's a Cooler Master one for 30 bucks. Here's a white one for like 15. It's the components and stuff that are like the more expensive part. But see, if you look here, I don't know if I can zoom this in. But see, this is kind of what the inside of a case looks. This actually looks just like the case I have. But this part down here, this bottom left-hand corner where it says Digital Storm on there, that's where your power supply goes. So you just take off some screws in the back and you just slide that big brick right into here. And then you just screw on the screws in the back. So that's where your power supply goes. The cords from the power supply run up here. And they can run through there as well. Then your motherboard, it sits on these little spots here. So you see how there's like multiple screws? If you have like a smaller motherboard, like a micro motherboard or whatever, it just fits on like the smaller groupings. And then if you have like a full-size motherboard, it just fits on the other groupings, but all the holes line up. Might be able, he wants to sell me for 100 to 250. I don't know though. I have a habit of buying pre-used things and getting bitten. Well, just ask for the specs first. Because people are like, "Oh, it's a gaming computer." Because it has like it's got like LED lights on it or whatever. Just because they say it's a gaming computer doesn't mean it's a gaming computer. Or maybe it's like a gaming computer, but it's an old gaming computer. So like, yeah, it can play games, but like old games, not like the newer stuff, you know. But they're just like, oh, it's a gaming computer. Just because it looks like all fancy doesn't mean it's good. Like, yeah, it doesn't mean it's good. But if you just buy like you know, like a full size case, like this actually might be a mini case. I think this might be a full size case. But if you buy like a full size case, like this right here, let's see if I can zoom in. Can I zoom into one of these? So this one comes with the fans, I believe. But this is kind of the same setup. You got the holes here for the motherboard. And you set it on there. You just like turn the computer on its side. You set the motherboard on there. You line it up. And it really only goes in one way. Because you see this hole in the back? You see that hole back there? There's only really one way you can put the motherboard in to make it fit correctly. Because this motherboard, you see where the USB cords and stuff are in the back here? You got the little displays here, back here for your like headphones and stuff. You got the USB cables. That's coming out the back of the case. So you just line this part up with this hole right here on the back, and it just lines up. It just lines up, and you situate it so like the holes on the motherboard are lined up with the holes on the case. Then you screw in the screws, and basically motherboard's installed. And you just pop in the CPU. CPU is just like a little square looking thing. You just pop in the CPU right in the center. And there's YouTube videos on how to do that. You just pop that in. First you pull up the latch, you pop it in, then you close the latch. That locks it in place. Then you put a little bead of thermal paste on top. You put the cooler on. You either screw the cooler directly to the motherboard, or it has these little latch things which latch on to these little plastic mounts. And then that's on. You pop in the RAM. Pop, pop. Really easy to do. The The graphics card, it just kind of pops in the same way as the RAM does, more or less. Because if you look at the graphics card, I can zoom in here. You see this little like metal fin at the bottom? Like this fin right here? That just pops in to this on the motherboard. That little fin just pops into here. And it only goes in one way. And then the back of the motherboard, where you like plug in your HDMI cable and everything, that pops out of the back of the case. So that pops out. Where's the case at? That pops out on these slots here, because those little slots where all the holes are, those pop off. Those just unscrew. So you just line it up, pop one of those off the back, line it up right, and then it just pops out the back. It's pretty. It's just like assembling like a Lego thing. So it's not like super complicated. Installing like the operating system and stuff like that. So as long as you like watch a YouTube video, like I didn't know how to transfer Windows to a different hard drive because I put like an SSD in the computer and Windows was running off just a normal older hard drive. And I didn't know how to like get it. You don't just like drag and drop it. That doesn't work. So you had to like download a program that like basically does it. You're like, I want to copy this operating system and put it on this hard drive. And then it's like a free program. It copies it, puts it on there. And then you like reboot the system. And then you just like delete the old operating system from the other drive to free up space. And I didn't know how to do it at first. I just Googled it, watched a YouTube video. Within 10 minutes, I got it done. So what kind of graphics card would you recommend? Well, do you plan on like gaming and playing on the same computer all at once? Or is the computer going to be more for like just streaming and you're going to like be playing on a console and you just like need it to stream? Or is it going to be like a combination of both? And like, do you want to play in 1080p or do you want to play in like 4K? It's Kara. How you doing, Kara? How you doing, Kara? And like the 30, like I'm going to be using the 3060, which I haven't even really tried yet. It's only about, from what I've read, 30% better. Well, I got the 3060 Ti. But the 3060 Ti, which actually, so back when I bought my 1080, it costed $500. $500 for a 1080. You can get a 3060, which is 30% faster than that, and it's $280. But you know, things improve, stuff gets cheaper. With the tariffs, I'm sure it would even be cheaper without the tariffs. But here's like a 3050, 6 gig. That's $200. Well, the tower comes with a monitor, keyboard, microphone. Is that still good for 1.7? 1080p is good for me. This one will be a streaming console. The later one will be streaming PC games. Okay, so this one will be for streaming console. Then later one will be for streaming PC games. So if this one's going to be for streaming the console, because let's see. Because what I'm running right now, the main computer I'm playing the games off of, it has a 1080p graphics card. It has a GTX 1080. And the computer I'm streaming from also has a GTX 1080. I got two 1080s. Because bought my original 1080 for $500. A lot of money. Fast forward to now, people are selling them for around $100 on Facebook. I'm like, well, this guy's selling it for $100. I'm just gonna buy another one, put it in one of my other computers, and I'm gonna stream off of that. So, you know, a GTX 1080, that will be able to stream. And you can also play games. Like, for a long time, I was playing and streaming from the same computer. And I only ran into issues when I was trying to like play the newer titles. But like, here's a 1080 for 160. Here's a 580 for 100. Yeah, 1080 is still a good graphics card, but yeah, 3060. Where's the 30? Where's the 3060? 3060. So if I, like, for example, if I go to GTX 1080 versus GTX 3060, if I go to that and I go to the benchmark website, so a 3060 and a 1080. 3060 is at 96, the 1080 is at 73. And then it kind of breaks it down a little bit more. The 1080 is on the right. The 3060 has faster multi-rendering, faster peak multi-threading. The value, nice halves, much more recent because it's newer. Average benchmark's 42%. Average bench is 43%. It's not like a big difference on there. Let me go to the Tech City one. I got Fortnite on in the background. So if you look at this right here, I don't know if you can see that, but the 1080 is on the top here, and then the 3060. It's not a huge leap. It says the RTX 3060 outperforms the 1080 by a small 9% based on our aggregated benchmark results. So it's like a 9% upgrade, right? Which isn't like it's not like a crap ton. Combined synthetic benchmark. So, you know, that's like a 9% increase on that. So like 9-10% increase. It's not like a crazy jump. So even though the GTX 1080 is like an 8-year-old card or whatever, it still holds its own, especially for 1080 gaming. How is the GTX and RTX compete in popular games? The 1080 is 13% faster at 1080p. The 1080 is 20% faster at 1440, and the 1080 is 40% faster at 4K. Here's the range of preferred differences across popular games. In Fortnite, 1080p resolution, medium presets, and 1080 60% faster. The Witcher 3 Wild 1080p resolution, high preset. The 3060 is 142% faster. And again, it depends on the game. Like some games, certain graphics cards take better advantage. So it just kind of depends, but I've been running the 1080 for a long time, and it's still going good at 1080p. If you're gonna play the game and stream it from the same thing, sometimes you run into a little bit of trouble. You kind of have to lower some settings. But yeah, it's not like a big bump. It's like 9% bump. To put that in perspective, the 3060 costs almost $300 for this particular one. You got like the TI version and stuff, which is better, obviously. But, you know, and then you got what is it? There's a 3050 for $200. But then you got the little 1080 GTX. And again, you can find these pretty cheap on Facebook Marketplace. GTX GTX 1080. Whoop. You can get a 1080 brand new for about 200. Honestly though, I'd buy it off Facebook because you can get a GTX. Because a lot of people, they're just kind of looking to upgrade. You can get a 1080, which is 8 gig, like around $100. Like across the board, it's around $100. And if you're looking to upgrade later, and this is just going to be for streaming, like, don't get me wrong, you could still play a lot of games on a 1080. Like, that's what I've been using right now. Like, every game I play on the channel is a 1080. Is running on the 1080. So this will stream games fine. And it'll play games fine, especially in 1080p. Like, I can play... I can play... What do you call it? Do I even have it installed on this computer? I can play Cyberpunk on a 1080. I was having issues before because I was trying to play Cyberpunk and stream it all on the same computer. That's when I was having issues. But if you're just looking to stream it, the 1080 is going to be fine to stream. And OBS, you can like use the graphics card to stream it, or you can use like the processor to stream it. I tend to use the graphics card. But I think I got the... Where is it? I think I got Cyberpunk installed. Maybe I don't. Cyberpunk. It says it has to update. How big is the update? How big is the update? But I can play Cyberpunk. And again, with computer gaming, it's nice because you can lower the settings. So like if a lot of games, if you like cap the frame rate at 60, like if you go unlimited, yeah, it's gonna probably maybe run into some issues. If you cap it at 60, which if most monitors, like unless you got like a 4K monitor, even on a 4K monitor, 60 looks fine. But if you like cap the frame rate at 60 or even 30, and like lower some of like the shadow settings and turn some stuff down to medium, like you're gonna be fine. How big is the file size? We might have to pause that. Okay, let me go to eBay. But I would recommend buying a 1080 off of like Facebook. Because for like around $100, I mean, if you're looking to upgrade later anyway, and this is just kind of mainly for streaming, I mean, you could play games just fine off of this too. But because I use the 1080 eBay. But if you want like a good graphics card, but you don't want to spend like a crap ton of money, it's like you can't go wrong with the 1080. Like you could spend more money, but like the 3060, that's only like a 9% upgrade. Like if you can get a 1080 for like around $100, it doesn't really make sense to pay $300 for a 9% upgrade. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't really, to me, it doesn't make sense. Let's see. GTX 1080. So like you can get like here's a GTX 1080. That's like $110. So this is like $110. And you gotta like read the description too, because sometimes when you like buying from Facebook from Facebook or eBay, sometimes like they use them for mining. To like mine Bitcoin and like Ethereum and stuff like that. So they just constantly ran them like 24/7. Just processing things to earn the Bitcoin. And they just ran them and ran them and ran them. So sometimes they're used for mining, but even then, they still have like a lot of life left in them. Like this guy says, excellent condition. And on eBay, a lot of times they do have the return policy. So like if something is not working, you can send it back and you'll get your money back. It's like the money back guarantee type thing. So yeah, so like this one's like $100. Or like I said, look on Facebook Marketplace, because if you want like it like right away, you could just like, drive to somebody's house, pick it up right away. It just depends on what you're looking for. This one's like $100 too. And on eBay, there's usually like, this one's pre-owned. There's $20 shipping or whatever. But like, yeah, you can get a GTX 1080 for around $100. I bought mine off of Facebook. It works just fine. I haven't had any issues with it. Yeah, I'd go with like a 1080. And then graphics card, like if you go to Facebook and you type in like a B550 motherboard, how much are those going for? It depends, but B550 PC, maybe there's like a PC, like a case with that built into it. Let's see here. And you like have to look at like, your local listings, because some of these might not be shipping or whatever. But if you look at where you live, like sometimes people, they got the they're like selling kind of like a combo thing. Why can I only see one picture? That's just stupid. But yeah, the processor, what kind of processor were we looking at? We were looking at this one. The Ryzen 7 5800X. That's what I just bought. And before that, I was running a Ryzen 7. I was running the first version of Ryzen 7, which was the 1700. This was like the very first iteration, which this is still a decent processor too. But because it's older, like it really wouldn't make sense to buy one of these, because it's like more or less the same price of a new one. But so we copied that. Let me go here. How much is a Ryzen 7 5800X? It'd probably be cheapest just to like buy it from like Amazon or something, because then you kind of have like the warranty, like 30-day money back warranty, that type of thing. If it doesn't work, you might save like a few dollars buying it off of Facebook, but I'd probably buy it new. And Black Friday's coming, so they normally have like sales on Black Friday or Cyber Monday deals, that type of thing. But like all of it new. Like I said, where's our shopping cart? Where's our shopping cart? But if you get the 3050, that's $200. That's $200 for a 3050. But you could just, you could buy the motherboard, the processor, the RAM, the case, the power supply, and then you could try like getting a 1080 from eBay for like $100, or trying to find it on like Facebook Marketplace. What you have for like around $100? Like here's one, buy it now, free delivery, located in the United States. I think this is the one I bought from Facebook. EVGA is a good brand. They don't make graphics cards anymore, actually. The 1080 might have been the last graphics card EVGA made. I can't be certain. But that's $100. And excellent condition and fully functional, ready to go. Got a positive rating, $100, free shipping. And I'm assuming there's some type of like eBay, I think, warranty or something, I think. But yeah, so you could buy like, you could buy all these parts. Where is it? You could buy all these parts brand new from Amazon, right? That'd be just under $500. And then you just spend $100 on eBay, get the graphics card. You're paying $600. $600. It's like what, one paycheck? But I think that's a smarter move than renting. Renting is just like throwing away your money. Like, yeah, it's faster, but it's like you're just throwing away money though. Like one payment, you said it was like $175 for like 1 month. I mean, $175, that buys the graphics card and it buys the graphics card. You can get a case for around 70, or you get the RAM for around 70. Or the motherboard. That almost buys the motherboard and the graphics card if you buy it from eBay. For just one payment. And then then if you wanted to upgrade later on, you could always use the case, or you could do like a 2 PC setup like I got. But for around like 600, again, that's if you buy like a 1080, which is an older card, but a 1080 is still good. Like I said, it like the website was saying, it said it was like the 3060. It said it was only a 9%, like 9% better than the 1080. That's like $100. GTX 1080 versus 3060. Should you upgrade? How big is the difference? Buy game keys, save money. And you can watch these type of videos where they like compare the two. They like, have the same hardware and stuff. Same RAM. I think this one on average is hitting 45. And this one on average is hitting 55. And I'm not sure if that's 1080 at 1080p. Where's like the I don't know if I can do 1080p. That's probably gonna look very similar on the small screen you guys are seeing, but yeah, this one's running like around 50 and this one's running about like 40. So it's like a 10% frame increase. And if you like lower settings and like cap frame rates and stuff, then Be my eyes. This is I think Crisis. And the processor for both of these is a R9 5900X.
Man, he's dead now.
So on a 1080, you got around, I don't know, 40, around maybe 50. This one, it's around maybe 60, 70. Horizon. This is everything set to ultra. So even on Horizon, with stuff set to ultra, you're running like close to 60 on the 1080. And then around 70. It's only like a 10 frame increase. And that's if you're running ultra. If you're just playing the game running ultra. You don't have to run in ultra. You just go on high settings. You know, maybe turn the shadow down to medium or low. Turn off the motion blur or whatever. So there's like ways to tweak the game to make it run better. But if you're running at 1080p, 60 frames a second is really all you need. I mean, most consoles only run at 60 frames anyway. I mean, even 30 is fine for me, but, you know. That's if you're playing the game. If you're just streaming the game, then yeah, this is going to be more than enough to stream the game. Like, this game's running 80. And again, if you cap it at 60, like this is running on ultra and on high. This is, what is this, Cyberpunk? So on Cyberpunk, running on like ultra, it's doing around, I don't know, maybe around 30. Over here, it's doing around maybe 40. So it's like a 10% difference. I mean, like a 10 frame difference. But with computers, you can tweak things.
All right, let me see.
You got the, what do you call it? Red Dead. Red Dead, you're running around 40, 50. Yeah, so that's like a 10 frame difference. But that's on like the high settings. If you turn like certain settings down to like low, medium, high, whatever, you can get higher FPS if you turn certain things down. If you're using it to stream stuff from your console, then yeah, 1080 is going to work fine. And then the processor, that's why I want to get a PC, is to upgrade, but also there isn't any exclusives anymore. I might look for a cheaper PC as I'm just a console streamer right now, but I don't know. Yeah, but like the 1080, I think that's a good card. I got 2 of them. It's held up pretty well. And then, yeah, motherboard, case. I don't know what kind of case you have right now, but like if you have a case right now, you could even put, like, if you use the case you have, like I said, I don't know what kind of case it is, but I'm assuming there's probably a full-size motherboard in there, so it might not look as good, right? But also, you have a power supply too, I'm assuming, in your current computer. By any chance, do you know what wattage your power supply is? Like, is it like a 500 watt power supply, 650? Because you could use the parts from your current computer. Like, if you got the case, let's say you don't need the case, you just use the one you got, you make do. So we get rid of the case. If it has a power supply, I don't know what case. Currently just an HP Tower random case. I don't have one from a Rent-A-Center yet. I mean, just the one you have. So let's say you use the case you have. Assuming it's like a full-size case, right? It's not, maybe won't look the nicest, but there you go. If it's got a power supply in the one you have, by chance, do you know what power supply you're running? PC. Let's see. Info. About your PC. So if you go in your little taskbar, let me exit this real quick. How do I exit this? Old computer you had in storage. You want to export? Yes. So, do you have it plugged in by chance? Storage. I got 6 terabytes of storage. Installed RAM. I don't think it says what type of processor. But if you got a power supply in your current computer, it's what you're currently watching. You okay? Let me see here. Can you tell what power supply from? You have to open it up. You need to physically open the computer case and inspect it yourself. Power supply is dumb. Okay. Should you like have to open up the side panel and check on the power supply? It's probably like maybe a 500, maybe. Potentially. But you might be able to get away with like using the power supply you have, maybe, because the 1080, the GTX 1080 graphics card, that only takes one 8-plug cable. Whereas the 3060, it takes 2 8-plug cables. It takes like twice the power. But the 1080 doesn't take a whole lot of power, just one 8-plug. So the power supply you have might do the trick, maybe. So if that's the case, you could even temporarily take off the power supply, right? So delete that. So now you don't need a case, you don't need a power supply. You would probably need RAM, because the one you have now, I feel like maybe it's DDR3. Maybe it could be DDR4. I don't know. But it might be DDR3. Why is my RAM only running at 24? I don't know. But yeah, so the power supply might work. The RAM, maybe you got DDR3, maybe it's DDR4. Let's see, where is the info? PC specs? No, PC info. The computer is a HP Slimline desktop tower if you want to check the specs. Okay, let's see here. HP Slimline desktop. I don't know if that's gonna have, is it like this? Does it look like this by chance? Is this what it looks like or not really? This is what it looks like. Okay, so let's see here. Does it show the specs? I think it did in this picture. Zoom. Okay, so it's got a processor, Pentium CPU, blah blah blah. Installed RAM. 4 gigs. Operating system came out in 2004, maybe. Change product key. Okay, is there any other info about it? So it's a slim line. Does it say what kind of processor it's got? I mean, what kind of, what do you call it? Condition, blah, blah, blah. Power supply, operating system. Let me see if I can find this. Back up. Wait. Oh. Desktop specs. Oh, that's slim. I want the slim line. Desktop specs. Mine has an Intel Celeron CPU G3930. Needs blah 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 blah. G3930. 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 Might be this one. So Walmart. This one might be it. Does it say? I wonder if it says what type of power supply. HD graphics. So yeah, it doesn't have it. It doesn't have a dedicated graphics card. It's built into the processor. It's like a combo thing. You only got 4 gigs of RAM. I think it has built-in Bluetooth. Processor. G3. Yeah, I think that's it. Intel graphics. What kind of power supply does it have? That's what I want to know. Probably not a super big one. Do 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 do. Desktop CPU. No, not CPU. Power supply. Oh, it's only got an 180 watt power supply. Yeah, that's really low. Yeah, in this case is like a slim one. So I feel like you'd probably you probably have to buy a new case. I'm thinking you might. Yeah, because there's really no spot to even I mean, maybe, but it's because it's a slim one. Yeah, you'd be better off buying a new case. But yeah, I'd go with it. I'd just build it yourself. That's what I would do. But that's just me. Do do do. Because the B550, that's the one I got. That's $100. But yeah, it's not that big of an upgrade You just gotta lower some of the settings, you know? Like The Witcher's running at 60. But it'd be like a massive upgrade from the computer running right now. Yeah, 180 watt, yeah. Yeah, that's definitely not enough power. Let's see here. How much power does a GTX 1080 need? Yeah, so the graphics card just by itself takes up the entirety of that power supply. So you need a minimum of 500 watts, minimum. And that would power the CPU, motherboard, RAM, and storage drives. More is always better, obviously. More is always better. But yeah, like if you buy a more expensive, what do you call it? A higher wattage power supply. If you were to upgrade later, you could just reuse that power supply, and you could reuse the case if you wanted to upgrade later. Processor still, this is a good processor. It's what I'm using right now. AMD's fastest 8-core processor for mainstream desktop with 16 processing threads. OS support Windows 11 can deliver elite 100 FPS performance in the world's most popular games. Oh, cooler not included. So this one doesn't come with a cooler, I guess. I guess you'd have to buy a cooler too. But I guess some of them come with coolers, some of them don't. But the cooler is like, you can get a cooler for like 30 bucks. Ryzen 7. Seven with cooler. Or should I buy one off someone who knows their stuff like you or your brother? Let's see, 5800. Oh, there's a cooler. This one comes with a cooler. Not the same thing though. But yeah, you can get like, just a standard cooler for around 25 bucks. Do. Wraith Prism cooler. I think this is the cooler that came with oh yeah, the Stealth. This one's only 10 bucks for that cooler. Wraith Stealth socket. This is the one I put on the new computer I just got from the thrift store. I took this cooler basically off of my older processor, and I put it on the other one, screwed it in, but I need the thermal paste. And there's ones with like LED lights and stuff too. And you can get like, you can get cheaper processors as well. Why does this one cost so much? Oh, this comes with the cooler. Ryzen 7 3800X. Lots different coolers though. Here's a $60 case. A $60 one. And then like as far as like the screen and stuff goes, I mean you can always buy cheap ones from like Goodwill and stuff. You can buy new, but they got a lot of cheap ones you can find at thrift stores that are 1080p. Most monitors that you find at thrift stores, they start at like 1080p. Like I found a curved, I think it was a curved Samsung one. It was like a 27-inch. That was like $12. It's 1080p, so it's not as like sharp. It's like a 4K. Excuse me, like a 4K one, but so it just kind of depends. But like pretty much anything is going to be an upgrade from the one you have right now. Boom, 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 boom. Diddly doo 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 doo. Go to cart. So that's the motherboard, processor, which I guess you'd gotta buy the cooler too. But still, it'd be cheaper to buy the parts individually and put it together yourself than oh, and hard drive. We didn't think about the hard drive. There's also the hard drive. But you can get like the these ones, which are the fastest hard drives. These ones plug right into your motherboard. These are the fastest. But then you could also get like just a normal SSD, which don't plug into your hard drive. I mean, they do, but they don't like sit right on your hard drive. But you can get like a 1 terabyte SSD for like 64. And then you put your operating system on there, and then it would, run just fine. And then you could buy like external hard drives, or a bigger normal hard drive, like HDD. HDD is like the slower drives, but they typically you can get them for cheaper with more memory. Like here's a 4 terabyte one for like 8. SSDs are the way to go because they're faster. Some games require SSDs, but if you're just gonna stream, then you don't have to get crazy. Because like the older ones, they actually have like moving parts, so this like thing spins. Whereas the SSDs, there's no moving parts, and that's why they're faster. It's just like flash memory. The old iPods, they essentially had just like a hard drive with this. They were just like a hard drive with a screen. Like if you took apart an old iPod, it would look like this. It'd just be like a hard drive with a screen on it. Yeah, but SSD is faster than these guys. These were like the original. That's why they're fat. So you can still play like older games off of them and stuff. But most newer games require the faster ones. So you had these were the start, the HDDs. And the SSDs are the thinner kind, which are faster because it's like flash memory, less moving parts. And then you got the like M.2 SSDs, which are the thin ones like this. These little chip looking ones. And these ones sit right on the motherboard and they screw into the motherboard. They just like sit on it. And those go like really fast. So a lot of people will put the operating systems on there, but this like mounts directly onto your motherboard. The other ones kind of plug in via cables. You can also buy like external SSDs that you just plug into a USB, and those basically they're still faster than a normal hard drive. Like I have two like 250 gig SSDs plugged into my USBs. Some of the games I put on those, and they seem to work relatively well. But yeah, this setup would be like a massive upgrade from the one you're currently running, which is this. Because this doesn't even have a dedicated graphics card. This just runs off of the CPU. Do 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 do. But if you went with the specs on the one you're going to be renting, it'd still be a way cheaper to just put it together yourself. Buy the parts separate and put it together yourself. Welcome back, best of all time. You can also get the parts used too. So like or you could just type in like, let's see, gaming PC. If I just type in gaming PC on Facebook, gaming PC Facebook, GTX, we'll just say 3060. 3060. So this has AMD 5600X. Like this one, i9. It's got a 1070 5700X. What does this have? What kind of graphics card? It's got a 3060 Ti, which is what I got. It's got a Ryzen 7 5700X. Use like new streaming PC high level computer, can run anything. That's in California. But this pre-built one, even this one is basically more or less the one you're going to be renting. And that was $550. $550. What else we got here? 3060 i7 6700K. i7. So it just depends, but even like a cheap gaming PC. There's a 1080p gaming PC. One is from California. I don't want to see a video, bro. I don't want to see a video. But this one comes with what's Intel i7 7700K, 16 gigabytes DDR4, Gigabit Gaming 7 motherboard, case, Thermaltake water cooler, Corsair PCU. This comes with a 1000 watt power supply. Nice. Time to retire the good old gaming rig for something new. The computer is still working great. Feel free to ask any questions. Side panels removed for photos. Yes, it does come with them. It does not come with any hard drives. So even this one right here, This guy's a 1080p, 16 gigs of RAM, i7-7700K CPU, 1000 watt power supply. This one, that was only, what was I just looking at? That was only $350. And that more or less, Intel, okay, let me look at this Intel real quick. Stop the video. Okay, let me look at this Intel. Gonna look up the CPU on here and see how much it is. So the CPU that comes with it, i7-7700. They say a 7700K? 7700K. That's so many tabs open. Where's the one I was looking at? What the hell? Where'd he go? Oh, right here. 7700K. So this is, well, if you bought it off of here, it's 220 bucks for that processor. 7700K. If I go to this versus Ryzen 7, was it a 5800X? I think. Let's look that up on CPU benchmark. So a 7700K, 5800. That's the one we had in our shopping cart, right? 5800X. Yeah, so the CPU that's in that computer, it's not a Ryzen, but it's the Intel. So it's basically, according to this, let's see, according to this, more energy efficient, slightly cheaper, faster base frequency, average bench 84. So it's more or less on par with the better Ryzen. So I think this will show me. Well, I guess, I mean, okay, so it's maybe not. It's is that 188%? The Ryzen's 188% faster. Yeah, outperforms the Core i7 by a whopping 188% based on our benchmarks. Okay, so yeah, the Ryzen would be better, but still, it comes with the DDR4 motherboard, graphics card, and PCU. So that's like 350 bucks. This one's 300. New built gaming desktop. That's the i7-7700 MSI. Yeah, it just depends. It just depends, you know. I'm just nervous getting something from someone used. Yeah, the PC from Iraq might be used, but they would have hopefully checked it prior to putting it on the floor. Been bitten too many times. Yeah, well, I mean, like I said, if you buy all the parts new except the graphics card, like the graphics card, get one for $100. Free shipping and returns. So because eBay does have that like money back guarantee type thing, you know. And even ones that were used for mining, like they still hold up. They're still like, my brother bought one that was just like ran constantly nonstop. still works like brand new. Like these things can take a beating. So for like $100, you buy all the other parts brand new from Amazon, the case and all that, just to have like peace of mind. And then you pay $100 for the graphics card, and you're basically good to go. And this particular one, the B550, is this the B550 or is this the B650? This is the B550. This one, it does the DDR4, which I think we're on like, I don't know, we're on like newer RAM, but the DDR4 is perfectly fine. Like DDR4 is, yeah, that's what I've been using for years. This is gonna be like a billion times faster than the one you've been using. And it has the M.2 slot, so you could put the really fast processor in if you really wanted to. Compatible processors, the 500 series, 300 series, and 1000 series. Chipsets, digital twin, thermal, blah blah blah. Memory speed, so you can get memory speed up to 3600 megahertz. Processor came out in 2025. DDR4. It's got two of those SSD slots that are super fast. It's got a spot for, I guess, 6 fans. You can plug up to 6 fans into it. It's got all that. See, the computer I'm running on now is a 450. It's an even older card. I had to update the BIOS to get it to run this processor, but yeah, it's a good processor. And there's like other brands and stuff too. But yeah, if you bought everything brand new from Amazon, I just bought the graphics card. Well, how much? Let me go to this actually. Let me go to here. What is a B550 motherboard cost on eBay? So you can save a little bit if you bought it used, but not a whole lot. Well, this one's 65. Yeah, it'd probably make more sense to just buy it new. But like to buy the graphics card new, GTX, doesn't really make sense to buy the graphics card new because it is an older card. But see, this one's like 200, this one's like 150, 160. You can get one cheaper from like Facebook Marketplace or eBay. eBay's got the money back guarantee though, so yeah, you just buy all those other parts off Amazon, get the graphics card off eBay, and boom, you in business. Let's see, what about SSDs? SSDs. Like this guy. Wait, let me go to eBay. SSD. And then hard drives, depending on the size you want. Like here's a 500 gig hard drive SSD for 32. 250 gig. My operating system in what's going to be my main build, that's the operating system is going to be on. It's 256 gigabyte. So that's not like a lot of space, but it's enough for like your operating system. You could buy more if you want to like put games on that too, but you could always just buy like a separate SSD to put the games on. But as long as your operating system's running on an SSD, it'll keep it running fast. Just like don't clutter it up with a bunch of like apps or whatever. But 256 gigs for the operating system, or But that's the route I would take. Because if you rent it, I don't know. That's just I feel like that's just throwing away money. But if you put that money and you like buy the parts, it's way cheaper. Might take a little bit longer, but you're going to save a lot of money. You could even go to that computer store that you got your PC fixed at, and you could ask them, you'd be like, if I bought the parts and you guys just put it together, how much would that be? Like, if it's a computer store, I'm sure they would do that. Like, if you basically told them, like, hey, if I buy all of the computer parts, how much would you charge to, like, put it together and install, like, Windows? And then they could give you, like, an estimate, if they even do that. I don't see why they wouldn't do that if they're a computer store, And they might even have, like, similar parts at the store you could buy. Though I still would get if you're going to go with that graphics card, I would buy a used one. Because the 1080 is still a good graphics card for 1080p gaming. And if you're just going to mainly use it as like the computer just to stream from, and you're going to be playing the game on the console, then yeah, the 1080, I'd go with the 1080 because you can get it for around $100 used. They're very reliable, very durable, really good cards still, even nowadays, especially for 1080p. And it's only going to be like around $100. Or you could spend like, around $300 and only get like a 9% increase from a 1080. Just like a 9% upgrade. It's like a 10 frame per second upgrade. It's really not worth an extra like $200 in my opinion. The only reason I'm running a 3060 is because it just happened to be in a computer that I bought from a thrift store. I wouldn't have gone out and bought a 3060 because it wouldn't have been like a slight upgrade from the 1080 that I already had. So that's the route I would go. You can just call them and be like, hey, if I bought the parts, how much would you guys charge to put it together? If you didn't feel comfortable doing it yourself. Which, with YouTube videos and stuff, it's not that complicated. Because everything on the motherboard is labeled, more or less. Like, the text is very small, so it is hard to read sometimes. But, like, it does come with the manual that has, like, the schematics and everything. And you basically just match them up. Yeah, so you just basically, you match them up. Like, you just fit the screws on the case, screw them in, pop in the processor, put the cooler on top. Once you got the thermal paste, you pop the RAM in. And then, like, how much did he charge? Daily Thinker, what do you think about my username? Mr. Daily Thinker. Not bad, man. Welcome to the stream, bro. Thunder Ducky, how much did he charge to fix your computer? Like the one you currently have, if you don't mind me asking. Because you said you got it like fixed or something? Like a tune-up or something, you got it fixed. How much did he charge for that? But yeah, you just pop in the RAM, pop in the processor, pop in the graphics card. Boom, boom, boom. And then you're good to go. You charged me 50 bucks to repair the Ethernet port, the window drive, and something else I can't remember. Okay. Made a few changes like Mr. Sleepy and Mr. Coffee Night, and now this name. Oh, nice. I think I remember Mr. Coffee Night. I think I remember when you had that username. Vaguely remember that. So, like, what do we got in the cart right now? We got the RAM. That's DDR4 32. Good speed. You got the processor. You got the motherboard. And again, there's different variations of the motherboard and all these things. But you got the motherboard. Gonna need a power supply. So we might want to throw that one back in there. This one, it's got a couple modular ones. That's 80 bucks. That's 650 watt. I feel like, 650 watts probably enough. You could get higher wattage if you wanted. Well, thanks for popping in, man. Just type in power supply. Power supply. Like here's a cheap one, 500 watt. That's 35 bucks. 850 watt one for 80 bucks. 600 watt, 700 watt for 50. And there's obviously more expensive ones, 750 watt for around 50. Semi-modular. Get like a 750 watt one. For around 50. So you like throw that in the cart. No, I don't want a protection plan. And you go with like an SSD. You could get one of these internal solid state drives. Or you go with just a standard SSD for like 100. Or even like a smaller SSD. Here's a 500. No, wait, what is this? It's 500 gigabyte for like 40 bucks. 500 gigabyte. You can put your operating system on there. 1 terabyte. Yeah, you go like a 1 terabyte solid state drive for 64. That you can put your operating system, still have some room left over, so throw that in the cart. I don't think this. Yeah, the Ryzen didn't come with the cooler. So you'd have to like get a cooler as well. You go with like a cheap cooler like this. Obviously more expensive coolers, they're going to keep your CPU cooler and all that jazz. But I mean they have like cheaper ones. They got like a water cooled ones and all that stuff. But I think, where is it? And it's not a one size fits all. A lot of times, it's like certain coolers have to fit on certain types of processors. Aluminum, for copper, and for, so like this one would work. This one's just like a cheap one. So let's just throw that in there just for funsies. Add to cart. Thermal paste, add to cart. I think that's, let me check. Oh, we don't got the case in there yet. No case in there. PC case, PC case. So you could get like, that's a compact, medium tower computer, mid tower, cooler master, master box. That's a micro tower. This comes with fans, pre-installed 4, no RGB fan, mid tower gaming PC. It's a medium tower, micro tower, frame mid tower, high airflow installed, RGB fans. And you can buy like cheap cases from like Facebook and stuff too. Since you know that what parts are good, could you maybe send a screenshot to me from that Amazon list so I have a list to go off of? Yeah, I could try. And like I didn't do too much research on these parts. I'm just kind of, ballpark estimate. Mid tower, airflow, RGB fan, pre-installed, glass eye, carbon printed accents, GPU holder included black. Medium tower. That would probably work. For like $60. And again, it depends on like the kind of tower you want and all that stuff. Glass case, mid tower. Installed. That comes with fans, Type C mid tower, blah blah blah. Tempered glass. Max. GPU max. They don't just have like a large case. What is a large? Where's a Lux? 80. That kind of looks like mid tower airflow. There's like a lot of different cases, but mid tower is a 60. Yeah, sure. Add a cart. No, I don't want to blah 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 blah. So that's the case, thermal paste, cooler, hard drive, power supply, RAM, processor, motherboard. The only thing this is missing is the graphics card. But again, I just buy like $100 one off of eBay, a 1080 off of eBay. That would make the most sense to me. So all of this together, part of your order qualifies for free shipping. What do you mean only part of it? What part doesn't get free shipping? Um, need to check. Do I have to be signed in for that? I do have to be signed in for that. How would I, let me see. How do I zoom out? Maybe I could just copy. Can I just paste this in the chat maybe? Let me see here. If I go to Facebook, YouTube, go to YouTube, keep calm and get on. Is that me? That's oh, that is me. Okay. Go Fortnite. Just need the chat. Okay. See if clicking on that works, Thunder Ducky. That might work because I just did an incognito. Browser. So that should work. I think. And then that graphics card, again, that's just the one I saw. That was that price. Will it not let me paste? Oh, that's too long of a... Oh, wait. Where's that eBay listing so big? Why is this listing so... Can I share it? Oh, share. Copy. There we go. And then to the eBay listing for that graphics card I was talking about. That's the eBay listing for the graphics card. But that's basically more or less the setup I have. That's basically the setup I have. And you could put more RAM and stuff later if you wanted. But yeah, that's basically the setup I got. That's what's going to be in... well, aside from the graphics card, well, the setup I have right now, that's essentially what this is. The only difference from my main rig that I'm building, it's going to have the 3060 Ti because that's my best graphics card I have. But again, that's only like a 9% upgrade from the 1080. But I have it, so I'm like, oh, I got it, so I might as well use it. But this is basically the setup I have. Well, that's going to be in my main rig, more or less. Well, I do have more RAM, too. I got more RAM in that. Like, I think I have 32 gigs. This is just 16 gigs. Like, let me see here. DDR4. DDR4 RAM. And you can, like, get more RAM, too, if you wanted. But you could always buy those later. And there, you could always get RAM off of like Facebook and stuff too. But 16 gigs, that's probably enough. But yeah, that is basically... Where did the cart go? Where did the cart... Why does it keep opening up new pages? How do I get... Oh, there it is. Cart. Go to cart. But yeah, that's just without looking too much into it. But that's the motherboard I have. And then that's the processor I have, the one I just bought. So good processor. And yeah, that's similar case. And like if you were to upgrade down the line, you could reuse the case. You could reuse the SSD, power supply, RAM, unless you like upgrade it to like DDR4 RAM, but then you'd have to get a whole new motherboard. But yeah, you can kind of interchange these parts. But all that, like $550. I'm assuming that's before tax, and then like $100 for the if you can find one for that. I mean, sometimes they're a little bit more. Sometimes you could find them like a little bit less. Like, what is this? I guess this one is a 1080 also. I guess it just maybe has the I don't know why it looks so bare bone. Maybe it just doesn't have like the plastic part on. I don't know. Different brands have like different setups, but just out of curiosity, what is a GTX 3060? 3060. Do they have that? Not fully working. See, they got like a 3060. You can get one of those for like around 200 Us, but it's like twice as much, and it's like only a 9% upgrade. So I don't think it's worth it. But this, if you're gonna stream from this computer, this setup is good because that's what I use. You can also play games on it. If you're playing like older games, playing and streaming from the same computer, you could do it, but you might run into some issues like I did. If you crank down the settings, you could probably get away with it. Or you could get a secondary computer like I'm doing and run two at once. Or you could just, use this as your streaming computer, play from your console, upgrade down the road, but yeah. I think it's cheaper than a renting. The end game is to have two PCs. Some point, as I have heard, that's the best method. Yeah, so you could you build this computer for around like what did I say? 600 or something. Why does it always get rid of it? Yeah, so like around 600-700 with tax, all that. And then you could use that as like your streaming computer upgrade later. Can't stream from the Xbox YouTube, yeah. But I mean, like I said, if it costs like $175 for 1 month to rent that computer, I mean, one month is gonna pay for. I mean, that's basically the processor right there. Or that's that's the case, the hard drive, the power supply, and the cooler. Like 4 components right there for 1 month of pay. That's 4 components. So, because like what's let me see, what's 175 times 2? So in 2 months it's 350. It's 3. Yeah. I think that's because even if it's renting to own or whatever, it's like it sounds good on paper, but then you gotta if you don't keep renting it until you hit the max, the payout, you're just throwing money away. And if you just keep renting it for the minimum, if you just do the minimum, by the time you have enough to pay for it, you've spent like quadruple what it's actually worth. or if you just buy it like outright or whatever, it's still like double. Miss Sniper says, okay, gotta go back to the Thunder Ducky stream right now, so everyone in chat behave. Love you, bro. Well, thanks for popping in, Miss Sniper. I didn't even know you were still here, Miss Sniper. Everybody got quiet. Chat Thunder Ducky, there's the link to that. You can do some more research and stuff with that. But this is essentially the setup I have. And that's what I've been using for like pretty much the entirety of this channel, more or less. But I got the two computers going, but yeah. You could build two computers for the price of like still for less than what you're gonna essentially be paying for the one you're renting. Oh, you followed me on X last night? Nice. I just thought that the monitor, keyboard, tower, mouse, and microphone would be good for once I was a gaming PC, but I'll be getting the parts direct. Yeah, because you can like a keyboard. You can get a cheap keyboard, man. Like you don't gotta get a gaming keyboard. Like keyboards aren't that expensive. Like obviously, I mean you can get like a super cheap one, obviously, but you can get like a mechanical keyboard for like $28. You can get like a dirt cheap one. You can find these at like pawn shops and I mean like I've seen mechanical keyboards at Goodwill and stuff. And they don't know what they have. They just price them cheap. They even have like ones they sell brand new that are just cheap mechanical ones. Or you can get like the combo ones. I mean, you can do gaming just on like a really cheap one. I mean, it's not super comfortable, but you can get like cheaper mechanical ones. Like here's a mechanical one with really good reviews. This is 4.5 stars by over 3,000 people. $20, you know, and you buy like a cheap mouse. So that's not gonna break the bank. So like for example, you throw in, where is that keyboard? The Red Dragon. Add that to cart. Add a mouse to the cart. A mouse, you know, depending on the type of mouse you want, let's just say you get like a $20 gaming mouse, boom. The monitor, PC monitor. If you buy one new, it's gonna cost more. I wouldn't buy one new. I would just go to like Goodwill and stuff because you can, I mean, at least my Goodwill, I feel like every Goodwill, every thrift store is gonna have like some type of monitor for cheap. And you could always like, you know, upgrade down the road if you found one that's like better or whatever. Like the one I bought, the one I'm using right now, I got two going, but I'm using a curved one. I don't know it's a pretty big size one, but it's MSI one. And this one cost me like 20 at Goodwill. The Asus that I have as my secondary monitor, I think that cost like 10. It's like Goodwill always sells their monitors for around like $10. At least here in Idaho. Because they just get so many of them. So like if you buy a new one that's like 1080p, you're going to pay like 65, like around $100. Or you just go to Goodwill, pay like $10 for a cheap one. You know, 1080p, most monitors, like 1080p is the standard. You know? And you could always look up the model number on the back to make sure it's 1080p. But yeah, you don't have to spend anywhere close to this amount. Just buy them used. But even if you did, even if you bought like a, you know, like a 25 Spectre, like if you bought this one for $120, add that to cart. You pop that in. So now all this minus the graphics card, which is 100, so we'll add that on. But all the components with the screen, mouse, keyboard, all that, right now we're at $711. Plus you add on like $100 for the 1080 from eBay. That's like $800. That's still like half the price of the 1.7 thousand you're going to be paying for that whole bundle from the game, from that store. You're still saving like a crap ton of money. You're saving like $1,000 by just buying the parts yourself. $1,000. And even if you were not to get the used one off of eBay of the graphics card, and you pay a couple $100 or whatever, you're still getting a crap ton less. Yeah, so like even if I added on, let's say you wanted to go with a GTX 3060, just because it would match the one that you're renting, 3060. Even if you were to buy a 3060 brand new, depending on the model you get, it's going to be around $300. So you throw that in the cart. Okay, so everything you need, screen, mouse, keyboard, everything brand spanking new. That's just under $1,000. So you're still saving $700. $700 by just buying the parts, putting it together yourself. And you could use that like $700 to, I mean, you can buy more RAM for that if you wanted to. Or if you wanted to spend what you're going to be spending on that computer at the end of the day, you could buy like if you built a computer for $1,700, you could even upgrade all of this stuff. Like you could buy a nicer case. You could buy a bigger power supply, bigger SSD, more RAM, better graphics card. Like if I type in GPU, you could use all that extra money you're saving and just buy like way better stuff. Like you could get the RTX 5070, which is a $500 graphics card. You could throw that on there. Right? Where is it? It's not even out yet. Wait, why can't I buy it? Well, or get a 9060. That's a 16 gigabyte graphics card. Dang, that's $400. Throw that in the cart. Okay, so you throw that in the cart. You take out the 3060. So you got a better graphics card, and still all that together, that's $1,100. That's still way cheaper than the 1,700. And you could buy more RAM. So see, it's always cheaper to buy the parts yourself and put it together. And that's if you bought the monitor. Like I said, you could find a good one from like a pawn shop or whatever. Thrift store, usually Goodwill. That's where I got every single one of my monitors. I got from Goodwill or the thrift store I work at. Because 1080p is like the standard. Or Facebook Marketplace. Like you go to Facebook, you type in PC screen. Like, see, you can get these. Not super expensive. And you can always make them offers too. But even if you bought it brand new, all the stuff brand new with the $400 graphics card, like that's a 16 gig graphics card. That's $400. Or you could go with the buying options. You could go with this one. Why is it join Prime? You have to be a part of Prime to buy this? I don't get it. You go with the $700 9070. Boom. Throw that in the cart. Get rid of this one. You're still looking at a total of just under $1,500. So would still come out to less than what you're paying for that pre-built one from the place. And you're getting a crap ton of a better computer. You're getting a $700 graphics card, Like that thing is smoking fast. You're getting all that, and it's still cheaper than what they're trying to pawn off at the computer store. I look for a cheap PC to stream my consoles from tomorrow that isn't gaming. Yeah. I mean, what I was doing, well, if you're just going to stream it, I mean, you could get away with maybe a laptop. Because you were streaming from your laptop before, right? So, I don't know. But all that, $1,400. But then again, I'm not. I'm not. That's what is this? Because I don't know if that graphics card would necessarily fit on that board. You'd probably have to like buy a more expensive motherboard to fit this. Maybe. But still, it'd be cheaper. It'd be cheaper. But guys, it is past 2 in the morning. I got to get some sleep because I got to go to work tomorrow. But thank you guys for popping in. Had fun chatting about tech stuff. But I think if you just bought the parts separate, you'd be saving a lot of money, Thunder Ducky. Plus, it would be kind of fun to like it seems complicated and stuff, but if you like put it together yourself, it's going to be way more satisfying than just, paying somebody to, buying it from a store. But yeah, and doing the research is part of the fun too. Like I get that you want to stream as soon as you can, but I mean, saving money, you'd save a lot of money. So anyway, thanks for popping in, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for the likes, shares, all that good stuff. I will try to be back on tomorrow nights. And yeah, I will catch you guys later. Until then, my name is Adam, and remember, keep calm, game on. Toodles!